Hey guys, this is Tyler Davis back with another edition of Fiscally Fit. This time I want to talk about something that's been a real hot topic lately, which is the cost of waiting. So data doesn't lie, right? And one of the best financial resources that I think we could all agree on, whether you follow him or not, is Dave Ramsey. He's definitely a name that a lot of people know. Recently, I had a realtor partner send me this really interesting clip that Dave Ramsey was sharing some information about what's going on as far as should you wait to buy a house or not. And he's all about the data. So I think we can all agree that the data doesn't lie. And there was some really interesting points that I thought would be great, just kind of in my own words that he shared. And I think back from grade school, we all know one thing: supply versus demand. So the cost of waiting, and with data not lying, it boils down to supply and demand. And what do I mean by that? So really, right now, there are more potential buyers out in the market than there is homes or inventory out there. A lot of people are comparing what's going on right now to what happened back in 2007, 2008 timeframe. And there's definitely some differences between now and then of why you should not be afraid. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it is definitely there is a cost to waiting. There are some things in life, big things like buying a house, getting married, having children, those kind of things where we might wait till the time is just right. And yes, there is something to be said about strategy and all that, but at the same time, you got to live life, man. So if you are wanting to buy a house, now is still a great time. And with the data, here's some of the things that I want to talk about. Until there are fewer buyers than there is inventory, prices aren't going to go down. Supply and demand dictates that the prices are going to remain high because right now we're in an all-time demand of that supply. So right now there are 5 million more 35-ish year old folks out there in the buying market, more millennials out there, which is a big number, higher amount of buyers today than there was back in 2007. That, in combination with the fact that there are far fewer houses available, that just shows that there is a much higher demand than there is supply, which is going to dictate the fact that prices are going to remain high, if not continue to climb. Dave Ramsey also went on to say that over the next 5 years, it is projected that those numbers are going to stay around the same. So there is going to be a slight increase in prices, more than likely, based on everything that we've seen. The data doesn't lie, over the next 5 years. So if you think you're going to wait it out and wait a couple of years, man, don't put your life on pause. That's not the best strategy. If you know your house is something that you want to either sell and upgrade because the family is growing, whatever it is, the time is now. There is going to be a cost to waiting. With interest rates being where they're at right now, it's July of 2022 when I'm bringing this to you, interest rates are definitely up. That's a fact. So that, in combination with bigger demand, higher prices, if you continue to wait, you're going to get burnt on both ends. Your monthly payment's going to be higher, and it's going to cost you more as far as your down payment and all that stuff because the prices are high. Another statistic that I thought was interesting that Dave Ramsey mentioned was 128 million households operating now versus back in 2007. There was 116 million. That is 12 million more households, families that need a home, that's got to have a house to live in, to operate. That's another big reason why the demand is so much higher. That, in combination with the fact that not as many new houses are being built today as there was back then, in combination with there being that many more 35-ish year olds out there in the buying market. So back in 2007, there were 2.1 new house startups being built. Now today, fast forward 2022, there's 1.4 million being built. That's nearly half the inventory out there being built and available, and there's that many more buyers out there. Simple stuff, man, supply and demand. So there's definitely going to be something to be said about waiting. Now, if you have something where you're saving up your down payment and all that stuff, then that's just a fact. That's what it is. That's why you call your mortgage lender. We have a conversation. We get a battle plan in place. We strategize. We map it out. We create a timeline. There will always be some things that we're just subject to, which is the market, the interest rates, whatever's going on. But right now, as Dave Ramsey pointed out, just based on the simple data, there's going to be a higher cost of waiting around. So for the next 5 years, expect that prices are going to stay up there a ways, which is also a great thing if you just recently bought or you're buying now, because you're going to gain equity, which is amazing. So really, to recap, the big takeaway that I want you to think about is until there's fewer buyers out there, prices aren't going to come down. So if you know that now is the time, then now's the time. Don't wait around. Don't kick the can down the road. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time doesn't necessarily ever exist. It's smart to contact your lender, get a battle plan in place, be proactively pre-approved. I cannot stress that enough, guys. I see it happen all the time. I'll get a call on Saturday afternoon. Someone has fallen in love with a house and they want to make an offer on it tonight, but they're not pre-approved. Don't wait for that. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't wait. There's a cost to waiting. The cost is everything that we just discussed. Plus, if you wait to get pre-approved, the cost is missing out on the house that you guys just fell in love with. Don't do that to yourself. So again, to recap, the cost of waiting, we're going to link in the resource that I discussed from Dave Ramsey. Like I said, if you follow him or not, the data doesn't lie. So there's definitely going to be a cost to waiting. I'm always available to take any questions. I love it. That's what I do every day, all day long as a mortgage lender. It's just to help provide advice, provide my clients and my realtor partners as a resource of knowledge, and get battle plans in place and help proactively pre-approve folks like yourself. So again, this is Tyler Davis signing off, your lender advisor, with another edition of Fiscally Fit. Don't wait around, guys. The time is now. I realize everybody's at a different spot with their fiscal fitness. If you ever want to talk, I'm here as a resource. You can call, text, or email. And when you're ready to get started, I can be found at loanswithtyler.com. I'm always prepared for my next opportunity to help.